Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2 after what was an incredible run last time round, checking off all of the Arcana cards that we had yet to finish a run with, most notably Judgment. And I thought that alone was going to make things very difficult, but then we happened to finish the run with our Arachne dress still intact. In fact, it didn't even take any damage from Kronos, so don't think we are ever going to repeat a run quite like that. But this time round, we are going to once again spice things up in a different way, though. Because there is one thing in particular we still have yet to do, but would benefit a lot if we can pull it off. And that is, although we have seen the rival fight for Kronos, we have yet to defeat him, but we haven't even seen the rival fight for Typhon. And in fact, if we go over to the prophecies, we will find that there is a big and very rewarding prophecy for defeating almost all of the bosses in their rival form. However, for Kronos, and one would assume that final one is for Typhon, all you need to do is behold them. So just getting to the encounter is enough to complete this prophecy, and it's 8 Nightmare, which is crazy valuable. So I would very much like to see if we can make that happen. We have not done super high fear runs on the surface, though, as I was saying. Obviously, we have yet to activate this rival Typhon fight. And the other thing is, well, the bonus bones weapon would be the skull. I think in this case, we obviously just need to go for whatever we think is going to be our best, because this is, by most accounts, going to be our most difficult run yet. So I do like the aspect of hell a lot. I know we've been using it a lot as of late, but that's not a coincidence. I think it is possibly the best one for us. So if we try this, the key thing being, what is it? You go special first, which costs a lot of magic, but then afterward, you get the machine gun attack. So that's great. Then I did revert our Arcana cards back to more or less what they would typically be, so we're not going for Judgment here, although technically speaking, it seemed as though we could become quite strong with this if we were to fully upgrade it. By the time you reach the final floor, you actually might be stronger than you would be in a more standard run. Yeah, you don't have perfect control over which cards get activated, but for the most part, I think we found that mathematically speaking, you're getting almost every card by the time you get to the end of the run. As for the keepsake, oh, we did get a new one when we encountered Persephone and Hades. It's the Jeweled Palm. While at the Fate's Whim, I have no idea what that means, gain a random Hades blessing, and most boons have +1 left. What? Fate's Whim means we have 0 rerolls remaining and avoided Olympian summoning keepsakes. That's a weird set of criteria. The having no rerolls, sure, fair enough. But then you basically, it means you have no control at all over who is appearing, or at least not any more control over who's going to give you boons, because you didn't force someone to pop up, and then you've at least already used your rerolls, so you don't have any of that left. But how does this most boons have +1 level? Does that refer to specifically the Hades boons? Because I didn't think those could get levels. Or does that mean you're giving additional levels to all of your existing boons, in which case that's absolutely busted? So not really sure how that works. I'm not sure this is the time to experiment with it, but I am intrigued. I think instead we're probably sticking to the basics here. That means likely gold purse, or could even be moonbeam to try to get a head start on our hex. Because basically, this is going to be a really challenging run. Fortunately, there are lots of thresholds where we can still get rewards. We have a Charon delivery that is 1 room away from arriving. So if we make it past the first room, we at least get that. If we defeat Polyphemus on the... Oh, he is the Nightmare boss, so that would give us a bonus right there. On the next floor, we're still looking for a little bit of the rocks to give us the resources we need to craft the hidden aspect on the axe. Then if we make it to the 3rd floor, I don't really think there's much there, so just get through unscathed. And then the final floor, all we need to do is make it to the Typhon fight to get that big prophecy completed. And then if we can somehow defeat rival Typhon, even after having never seen him before, having no idea what we're getting ourselves into, that would get us up to a 12 fear run on the surface, which would be our highest ever, and that would be the threshold for the next tier of Knights Champion. We still have yet to do the Underworld version of that, but it'd be a big step in the right direction. So we don't need to make it all the way to the end, and in many ways, I do not expect that to be the case. I think we have a pretty large win streak right now, but that is very likely to come to an end. But I think we give it a go. And, oh, in terms of the familiar, I think we'll probably go Golly just for the blocks. That's been so helpful in the past. I think that's basically it. Yeah, I guess we'll go Gold Purse. So we don't know for certain. It does actually increase the likelihood of Selene showing up. I didn't realize that with Moonbeam. Because I think the greatest risks on this run will be Polyphemus, given how difficult he is for how early he shows up. We've had him be a run ender in the past. Then Eris, honestly not too concerned about rival version of her as long as we are paying attention. Then that's kind of a similar story for the third floor with rival Prometheus. We have at times gotten through that without too much trouble, but then there was at least one time when it went a little awry, and we did make it through, but only just barely. And then obviously Typhon, I assume, is going to be extremely difficult in his rival form, but don't know what we're getting ourselves into exactly there. So I do kind of like going Moonbeam first, actually, assuming this does truly give us Selene on the first floor as quickly as possible, because the risk with the Hex is always short-term, it's not that strong. Long-term, it can be run-defining, but if we can get further up that growth curve more quickly, maybe it's already strong enough to be a big difference maker against Polyphemus. So we're giving it a go.
All part of our new phase.
We also have no idea what's going to happen for what would be our second Typhon encounter post full release, if I remember correctly. And that was Selene talking to us there, so that's good. We're getting immediate Selene here. And do we want to gift her? You know what? Sure.
Great Eye of Night, who watches over me. May your brilliance always shine across the world.
Just to give us some good luck on this run, because we're going to need it.
The customary gifting of the gods. I am becoming fond of this cycle. Some traditions of Olympus may be worth adopting after all.
Alright. As for the boon itself...
Shine for me again tonight.
You vanquished Kronos in another time, or of another time, and with the selfsame Titan's aid. Such mysteries his power holds. But if this is what it takes for our time to flow freely forward...
She said the phrase!
...see that it is done.
Okay, the tricky part here is that we have no idea who we're going to encounter later on in the run, so we don't know duo setup-wise what we're looking for. I mean, for some of these, we do know who pairs up. Like, this is now Hestia, we've learned. This is Hera. This is Poseidon, I think. Not a huge fan of this one. I mean, I know, yes, healing in what is potentially a very difficult run that could definitely pay off for us, but oftentimes the Hex is one of our main sources of damage, so if it can help you delete a boss more quickly, then you're not taking as much damage in that encounter, so it might make up for the lack of healing if we go with one of these. This one can be incredible, but it is very dependent on getting the right enemy to summon, and we don't always have great control over that, especially in big encounters. In fact, I think we had this for the one time we fought rival Kronos. And the reason why we lost, in large part at least, was because we had an amazing minion that we summoned at the beginning of the encounter, but then near the end of the encounter, I deliberately did not defeat any of his smaller adds because I didn't want to replace my minion with a weaker version, and that created a ripple effect that led to us losing. So maybe we just go with something straightforward. This also does seem good against Typhon in particular, because he's so stagnant. Other bosses, probably a little trickier to get this to land, but we're thinking long-term, that might be the way to go. We do get this immediately, which is not usually relevant when we see Selene show up, because usually it's at the end of the encounter. This is the rare exception. Okay, it technically means, I'm realizing, that although we got that right off the bat, we do not have the chance to cash in the Moonbeam value until we encounter a second Selene. We do have some flexibility when we get into the city itself. Hopefully we will see Selene, but that is not guaranteed. So, you know, had I realized that, I probably would have approached things a little bit differently. Really want to get here, to tell you the truth. There we go. Yeah, we do not have enough magic to be... Whoa! Oh, that's ours. Right, I knew that. I knew that. We do not have enough magic to be spamming this as much as we would like to be. Adios.
request of the Queen.
We do want to gift to you.
Great Queen of Olympus, I am humbled to have earned your favor, and will do everything I can to honor you.
I'm bound by wedlock, yet you praise me thus. I must say you are full of surprises, my dear. Or potentially just very ignorant. Or both.
She's like, why would you ever praise me? I don't get it. But that is a prophecy foretold and fulfilled. So, okay, even if this run ends very early, we at least can say we did that.
My word, girl. To have delivered a groveling, impotent Kronos right into our hands after having utterly destroyed Typhon. One astonishing feat after another, even for a goddess of your pedigree. How can we ever repay you?
Excuse me? I do take issue with one of those things that you just said. Loved when you were heaping on all the praise, but then, what is this about even for a goddess of our pedigree? What are these microaggressions? Okay, let's see. Our cast... Well, this is the highest rarity one, is the cast. The attack is possibly the most important boon on this run with our weapon aspect that we have here. Special probably the second most important. The special is usually the thing that we'll be leading with. Then the attack is the follow-up that does the brunt of the damage. So it's a little unfortunate to see the cast as the big thing here. I don't really want to take a common rarity attack unless we are more or less committing ourselves to using Narcissus later on to upgrade this. I do kind of like the idea of having Hitch on the special, because it gives us extra area of effect, which facilitates later following up, since this is going to be the first skill we're using most of the time, giving us area of effect on the high damage attack later on. But is rare good enough? It is still 70% damage, which is nice. Sure. I guess we'll do it. Okay. Not anything else in here. Now this is where we need to start strategizing. Really want to see Selene. We do not see Selene. Okay, which kind of means that the Moonbeam was all for naught in a way. We guaranteed she was going to show up in the first room, but that doesn't really make a huge difference if we can't immediately cash in on the Moonbeam. So we do see Medea, who oftentimes is good the earlier you take her. Similar with Hermes, similar with Hammer. We do have a mini-boss, which is, in any other situation would be interesting, because I think there is also a prophecy for defeating all of the mini-bosses on the surface and all the mini-bosses in the underworld. That definitely does exist, but I think the only one that we've not yet completed is one of the mini-boss fights on this floor. So, for all we know, that could be it. It does give us more Hera, so it could potentially synergize with what we just picked up, but that we might need to play by ear, because obviously it is the most potentially threatening thing here, at least until we run into Polyphemus, and it might mean passing up on double life, even double magic wouldn't necessarily rule out, since we are going to use a lot of magic just to use our charged up special. And double Zeus, potentially worth considering as well for Zeus synergies. I think we'll go Medea first.
Get that, Golly? Why, thank you.
A boiling cauldron filled with toxic herbs, envenomed fangs and thistles, and a kiss, and awful expletives and gruesome verbs.
What are you
May
doing?
all your hair fall out and your skin crawl.
That's horrible.
Many painful sores and insect bites.
You're a
Your
monster.
favored memories I shall enthrall. Your throat I'll cut. But first, complete these rites. So mote it be.
Alright. Well,
I salute your great achievement.
thanks. She is about to help us, but then later on, of course, she's going to hurt us. Oh, I think we have, reason to gift to you as well.
Another nectar bottle you can spare on my behalf? Oh, this shall be a splendid compliment with several much less pleasant ingredients, whose aroma this ought to disguise.
Oh. Yeah. You know, Medea,
I shudder to think what concoction you have in mind, though trust you shall make use of that in service to our cause.
you know, hopefully it's beneficial. Okay. That should be Prophecy Foretold. We've not yet finished that one. We are running a little bit low on the nectars now, but another thing that's useful even if this run ends early.
Great Hecate herself was generous enough to notify me of your latest exploit, sorceress. And I wouldn't have believed a word of it had I been told by any other being save for her. So then, the Titan Lord has truly been defanged.
Indeed.
So it seems, Lady Medea, and the monstrosity that loomed over Olympus is gone too. Some traces of both threats remain, but we think we can handle them.
You apparently can handle anything. My only fear is that this means we may not see each other quite as often as we have. And shall I be forced to leave Ephira soon, so that mortals may then rob this city of its character?
Something tells me we will still be seeing plenty of you, quite soon, in fact.
That won't be an immediate concern. The underworld will not go back to how it used to be for quite some time. The dead shall have to wallow for a while longer.
I mean, hopefully we can improve the world after having achieved our big objectives.
Oh, how utterly terrible.
But
Only for
yeah.
the dead. As for me personally, why, I don't even know whom to curse.
Okay, let's see. So we have not yet taken this one. That might, for all we know, be the thing we need to finish the prophecy, but this is not... That's not the prophecy we're focusing on for now. And if there are better options for this run, then we should go with those. Enemies take a range of damage as they join the encounter, depending on how that rolls. That could be great, that could be not so great. This one, if your foe is slain, it has 20% chance to drop a little bit of life, a little bit of healing, rather. It's limited 1 per location. I have taken this before, but it's similar to the one that occasionally drops a little bit of gold, in that I think it's kind of easy to just miss that item on the ground, and then that doesn't feel so good. It could be very helpful. I mean, so could this. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier with, do you go offense, do you go defense? If you take things out more quickly, then they have less time to damage you. So this can, in some cases, actually be more defensive than this. Best defense is a good offense in a way. So, I guess I'll take this. I don't know. I think you could do either one. Okay, do you have to destroy this? That is true.
That's it.
Don't you patronize me. I didn't like your tone of voice. Okay, so we have a little more damage to work with now. And I think we're looking at Hermes next in all likelihood. Let me just double check real quick.
Where else can we go?
Just for the long-term potential. I mean, Hammer as well, of course, but it'd be good to see if we can get any beneficial stuff for Hermes. I mean, the tricky thing on this floor is going to be that, although it is the first floor, usually that means it's not that dangerous, and you're planning more long-term than you are short-term. Polyphemus is a serious risk, so we need to weigh between the short-term and the long-term a bit.
Shamblers ahead.
Okay, this is also not the floor where we need the rocks. I did not take the rock familiar. I did not take Rocky. And that was, although tempting, something that I figured was probably necessary. We're going to leave the rocks up to chance, and instead just kind of hope that we get some random rocks. Please don't do that, sir. Okay, you know what? Fine. I don't know how I got that assist kill. I was pressing the dodge button, but I was still in a different animation. That's kind of frustrating. Ooh. Excuse me. Okay.
Special delivery.
So that is 1 block lost, unfortunately.
I'll use this well.
Okay. Then we take this. Just double check. I think given now that we have a pretty limited amount of nectar, we're not going to gift to you.
So far, I'm liking this new grandson of ours much better than the mean old Kronos from before. You'll have to tell me sometime how you turned his world upside down to make him be this way. Heck hasn't said a thing.
It's more Zagreus than us, really. Okay, let's see. So this would be one thing that is very good. Man, if we took the Medea one that slowed the enemy's projectiles and took this, that'd be quite interesting. Channel your charge cast faster, your cast expire faster. It's not the cast we want to be charging quickly, it's the special, really. So if we have the money, we can get a lot of value out of this. I'm kind of tempted to take hard target, to be honest with you, even if I usually am not the biggest fan. In part because, let's see, in those big boss fights, yeah, I think it could be quite beneficial. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen with the Typhon, but base Typhon has a bunch of projectiles, so slowing those would be helpful, assuming there may just be more in the rival Typhon, but, I mean, Polyphemus, I guess I'm not entirely sure what qualifies as a projectile for him, but he might have some. Eris, again, kind of depends what technically qualifies as a projectile. Prometheus certainly has a lot, or more like Heracles has a lot. I guess Prometheus himself actually does as well, so, you know, I'm gonna do it. Wasn't really what I had thought we were gonna do from Hermes, but it could still pay off.
Be not afraid.
There we go. Oh, that gave us a free air boon, okay. Or an air elemental effect, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now it's a little less obvious. Well, actually, hammer is obvious. Then it gets tricky. With 3 after that, so it could be double Zeus plus mini-boss, it could be double Zeus plus double life, it could be double life plus double magic, and whatever else you want, I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Please don't do that, sir. No, I'm not using the combo at the moment. It's in part because of our very limited magic. That is primarily because of our very limited magic. Now we'll use it, though. Ooh, okay. This wave is going a little longer than I had expected it to. For this encounter. Please stay right there. Thank you. Do we have enough for this? No, we just barely do not. That is unfortunate. Okay. Then looking for attack and special stuff here. Let's see. Specials are 35% faster. That's good. Attack shots bounce toward one additional foe and deal plus 15% damage on the successive hit. Charge attack fires plus 2 times in succession. I don't know which one of those is better. This feels like probably more single target, more area of effect. And I mean, all of these would be good. These are all the kinds of things we're looking for. I think attack probably is more meaningful, and given the icon on the left, these two are specifically for our aspect, whereas this is a generic one that you can get for any skull weapon. So I feel like in general, the ones that are specialized for the hidden aspects are better. I think we go with this one.
How's that for you, Revol?
Oh. Okay. Oh, there is a little side area. Okay. That works. I did not expect that to go that quickly. I think that was in large part because of the hitch. And, okay, that's going to get more damage. That's fine. I mean, that's, as I said, the likely second most important boon for us. I think we're good now. There's nothing over here. Yeah. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tough.
They're trying to slow me down.
Oh, there's some zombies in here somewhere that she's referring to? Who's they? Not really sure.
Let's see.
Okay. This is where it gets tough. I think we want to consider what type of boon we want on our attack, because it is going to be fast firing, which means we see several people here who are a little bit more in the hit once, hit hard. I mean, almost everyone here is more in the hit once, hit hard category. Certainly Ares I would put in that group. Maybe Poseidon. Zeus I would usually put in that group because there's a delay before the blitz damage activates, except if you hit multiple times, then you can get the blitz to proc. If you deal enough damage, you don't have to wait for the blitz to deal its damage. So if we get double Zeus, potentially get some synergies there. We can also be a little bit picky, so if we get a Zeus attack but it's low rarity, we can skip this one and then go to the next one and cross our fingers to get a better option that time. So let's go for it. It's quiet. Too quiet. Oh, that guy's big. And this guy is annoying. And dead. I'm gonna do this.
Release you.
Okay, not too bad.
There he is.
Moment before I forget that. Do we need to gift to you? Not really.
I noted that your father and I thought of something suitable for Kronos, for I do not want him here. He shall preside over the Isles of the Blessed, near to Elysium, in your domain. An honorary post befitting one of his experience.
Oh, that actually seems like that's a very important plot update. If that is true. Okay, this is more or less exactly what we were looking for, I think. At least when we accepted that Zeus was going to be a potential attack boon option. Don't think we can be priming right now, and yeah. This could be good long term, but definitely taking this right now.
Hi.
Hello there. Who is left? Oh, you are. I really did not see that guy. Okay. Honestly, the extra magic is pretty useful, because it means we can set up the combo more times before we run out of magic, so getting magic restoration of some variety would also be quite meaningful, though I don't know how reliable of a magic restoration boon we can get this early on. And with
Something's changed.
What are you referring to? With the options that we have available to us, I don't love Zeus's magic restoration boon. Ares is damage oriented, actually could be incredible for damage purposes, but is, I think, generally speaking, not as good in terms of the pure magic restoration component. Hera's is probably the best of the ones that we see here. That is the mini-boss. Of course, Zeus plus Hera does introduce the possibility of getting their duo boon, which, depending on which direction you're going in, could be very good. If it were the one that makes Zeus stronger, I think that's what we would prioritize here, although, I mean, this is still quite good. The hitch on the special. I think we will go Zeus now, for potential Zeus synergy purposes. There's a lot of enemies in here. But you are technically a mini-boss, or armored at least, I should say. Ooh, that was... hold on. I don't believe that one was fully charged. I was thinking about it, and then I didn't do it. Now I'd like to do this, or pull off the combo. Please actually hit the enemy that I want you to hit, rather than every single enemy other than the one that I wanted to target. Okay. There we go.
In the name of Hades.
Oh. well, I don't really think that's what we're looking for. In some ways, just because it's a sacrifice. I think we're more so just looking to pick up more boons right now. It wouldn't be the worst idea if we didn't already have a special for that to become a Zeus, because since the special is the leading move, it makes it easier for us to activate the Blitz with the follow-up attacks. But for now, this is the Magic Restoration. I don't really know. Well, I mean, it is a lot. It gives you all of your magic back. It's just that it's kind of clunky in the way that it works. That's the part that I don't like about it. And it is just common rarity here. So might keep it simple. And go with the dash boon.
Thunderous power.
No mini side rooms? No. Okay. So now the key question becomes... do we go double life to just make ourselves tankier? Magic is maybe a little less meaningful now that we got at least some of that. I mean, we will absolutely run out of magic in this next fight if we are trying to spam the combo. So there is still something to be said for it. It's just not quite as big of a deal as it once was. Then Ares, the magic regeneration from him is a little intriguing just because offensively it could be incredible for us, but making our attacks even faster still. But I don't know if we really want to be betting on that alone being the reason for going there. If it doesn't show up, then we're not going to feel so good about that. And then Hera, I feel like if it weren't a mini-boss, would definitely be the obvious choice. In some ways, as I was saying before, the mini-boss component to it is nice, but I don't think this is the time to be experimenting with a mini-boss that we've possibly never seen before, and even if they're... oh. That's kind of gross. Even if it is the mini-boss that we've already seen on this floor, I do not remember it in the least. So I think I'm gonna go probably double life here to make ourselves tankier. Oh, this is a very crowded room. And that's a lot of explosions.
Denied.
You could say that, yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Turns out, explode all the stuff on everyone. There's one that we actually didn't explode. And things go very quickly.
See that, Golly? Appreciate the help.
Plus 50 life, that is a lot. That was the idea. Nothing else in here. And I believe this was the last room. Yeah. So we're heading over to Polyphemus now. Rival Polyphemus at that. Just a tiny bit more gold. We are, of course, about to get to a shop, which, despite not having the extra gold from the coin purse, we're at just about 500, so we should be able to purchase everything there. We did not take the Hermes upgrade that gives us an extra item from the shop. Instead, we took that one that makes enemy projectiles move more slowly. So that means less spending potential here, but hopefully that is still something that helps us going forward. There's a little more gold. Okay. So Apollo. Main skill category we don't have would be Magic Restoration and the Cast. I don't love Apollo's Cast because it only deals damage when it expires, which is kind of awkward, the delayed damage. Remember, it's Magic Restoration. Oh, it's when casts expire. Also, kind of clunky. So, I think we're going to take this first. And we're probably going to go for you. Either of these, but I think that's more important. Then we're going to take this.
Olympus.
I don't really know what we're looking for here, to be honest with you, because... is it Perfect Image? It could be. How many common rarity boons do we have? We've none. So technically, if we were to take a common rarity, we could Narcissus it, although I'm not really sure that either of these would be our preferred targets for that. So, I mean, the Daze is good defensively. I'm half tempted to reroll. If there were something in particular we were saying we really wanted from Apollo, then I might reroll, but I just don't really think that's the case. He's just not really a great fit for us. Besides, maybe Perfect Image, I guess.
The light of the sun.
Not that I expect that to be up very often, but when it is, obviously, it's a little bonus. Not much more than that, though. With our limited number of nectars, I'll refrain. Okay, so as I said, I think this legitimately could be one of the most difficult encounters that we have on this run. We also did not run into, even in the shop, an extra Selene, so we did not get the chance to cash in on the Moonbeam value. That is unfortunate. We've had some Moonbeam bugs not that long ago, so I am a little nervous about us wanting to change to a different keepsake on the next floor and potentially not benefiting from this Moonbeam here. Hopefully we still get those 5 points, but we will see. Okay, so the poison. The poison is the problem from Polyphemus, and we do have a Hex that can do a big burst of damage when he's relatively still, but he does move around a fair bit sometimes. So that is going to be one of our keys. And if we can get in for the special plus attack combo, that's great, but I just don't know that it's going to be easy when he has so many effects going on that we want to be so wary of. So this will be tricky. This will definitely be tricky. We may even see ourselves losing a Death Defiance, or dare I say 2 or 3. It's happened before in this encounter. And so if we can make it past him, we get the Nightmare. That's great. If we do have to blow through some Death Defiances, then of course that has a ripple effect later on. That means we have a much smaller chance of making it all the way through to the end, but one boss at a time here.
Sorcerers?
Your service to the Titan Kronos is complete, Cyclops. His war against Olympus is ended if you've not already heard. I hold no enmity toward you. Be on your way.
Now that would be amazing. If he... I mean, we did actually see that happen with the Hecate fight on a prior occasion. She just went up and disappeared when Kronos kidnapped her. I don't know that Typhon's about to do that for Polyphemus, though. I kind of doubt it.
I was just wondering how come I haven't gotten paid. Thought maybe my shepherding hasn't been up to snuff.
Kronos was compensating you for tending sheep. I thought you were supposed to be guarding the city gates.
Yeah, what?
What do you even know about it? You really think I'm gonna leave my flock now, after all we've been through? And I can always earn my meal ticket some other way.
Alright, I don't think I'm going to do the combo right off the bat, because I think he jumps at us pretty aggressively at the beginning. And then I say that and almost immediately tried to charge after him. That was close. Yeah, so anything that's green can poison us. I think if it's not green, it doesn't. And that little red sort of mark on the ground is an indicator. I did not do anything to attract your attention. I don't know why you found me there, but the red mark on the ground that's much smaller than that is an indicator that Medea is about to show up. No, don't jump. Okay, stay there. No, don't jump again. Okay, that did hit you. Good, good, good. That is Medea, who throws a bunch of poison projectiles and things like that. Oh, that happens so often in this encounter. Okay, so he is now poisoned, which makes him stronger. Does it damage him, though? It does. Okay, that is good. It does feel like he became, the rival version became much easier as of the full release. But, oh, that slows me down, actually, is what that does. I'm not sure he's going to stay there. He's not going to stay there. Yeah, I walked into one of the sheep. That's Medea.
Not the best meal I ever had.
He is actually slowly damaging himself, which is kind of nice. Okay. Yes, I know that that made him spot me, but I thought, oh, that still has enough range to hit me. I thought I could still sneak in to get big damage out of that. No, it stopped. This is what I mean, where you'd think he's a big enemy, he's going to be pretty stagnant. He can be quite mobile, surprisingly. That, I'm trying to hit the guy who throws that. Yeah, did not work out. Go away, sheep. Oh, that was weird. The game just forced me to walk in the opposite direction that I was trying to go for a split second there. Oh, that was not intentional. Silly Billy. I'm not over there. That would have been a great opportunity to do this. But that's just our special. Don't worry about that. Did that hit him? I'm not sure if that hit him. Go away, Medea. No one invited you. Besides the fact that I technically did invite you. Did he say got into something bad? That's pretty funny. Whoa, that's bad. That was a incredibly clutch block, by the way. From... Ow. Excuse me. Okay, that's Medea coming in. What's Medea doing? She's doing that. I'm looking for a good opportunity to hex. I'm hoping that you're gonna continue to stand right there. Yes, very nice. I knew that, so I was very surprised that nothing hit me there. Okay. I'm trying to get past these sheep, but they really love blocking me right now. I see Medea. Yeah, every time the special comes back to us, it's alarming. Oh, that was blocked. Yep. Which actually does a lot of damage as well. Where are you? It's not quite where I wanted that to be, but maybe you're still going to jump it. No, it just barely missed. That would have been mission accomplished there had we hit. It's unfortunate. Please actually hit him. Thank you. No, what is this? It keeps on dodging in the opposite direction I'm telling you to, and it very nearly let us getting hit there. But there we go. Okay. I think we took one hit, but no big problems there. We should be able to heal that off easily enough.
Another rival overcome.
So that is a rival overcome.
For the underworld.
And that means Nightmare.
Always
It's
with
two
more.
Nightmare. Honestly, I did not remember that being the case, but I mean, we'll take it. So that already... That already means that this run is now giving us a decent bit, even if it ends soon. But that was, as I said, one of the encounters that I was most concerned about. So to make it through there without any big issues is a big deal. Yes, we could use the Narcissus Keepsake. I don't really think this is all that meaningful of a boon to upgrade with it, though. Let's see.
now?
Oh, I have to do it first. Okay. So, I mean, we could use this first in that case. No issues there. Just want to take a peek at what we see, because we don't have the extra gold from the keepsake, at least not yet. But that could change here if we would like. Why is this locked? Is it only usable when we've already used all of our rerolls? Not so fast. You had rerolls or equipped an Olympian summoning keepsake this night. Oh, does Selene count? She might very well count. Okay, that's why. Alright, so... the question is, by swapping off of the Moonbeam, do we still keep our +5 boosts to our Hex? Once upon a time, I thought the answer was yes, but now, with the finickiness of this Moonbeam as of late, I am less confident about that. Or even if technically the answer is supposed to be yes, I'm less confident that that is actually going to be the case. So that makes me a little reluctant to swap off of it, but then again, of course, if we were going to benefit from it regardless, and we choose to keep it on this floor, then we're not doing anything keepsake-wise. So I think this is probably the best time for us to gold purse. I think so. Either that or maybe even concave stone. I was also realizing, after we were considering using the crystal figurine on the previous run and using the Arcana card Judgment, which is kind of similar to this, that it also can serve as one of those mid-floor keepsakes, because once you finish the floor, you activate additional Arcana cards that you would not have otherwise had, so it benefits you for the rest of the run. Obviously, the earlier you do that, the better it is. And it's a little uncertain as to which ones it's going to be. Maybe it's a couple of Arcana cards that you don't care about, so it doesn't really help you all that much. But it could be of a similar ilk to the likes of the Concave Stone, in terms of its use case. So I think we're still going to go gold first, though.
All right.
And that means we do have more money to spend here. I think I will go with this. I'm not going to expedite delivery. I'm going to hold off on the Soul Tonic. I know you could potentially make an argument for taking it, but I want to make sure we still have money to get other mini shops along the way, which might have boons, which would probably be a bigger deal. Okay. And this is the floor where we need one source of rocks. And that will be enough for us to get the hidden axe aspect. Well, I guess technically by defeating Polyphemus there, getting the Nightmare, that means we've already met the requirements for that, obviously. Which means this is now the highest fear threshold we've gotten to for Nightmare, because we technically don't need to finish the run for that, I don't think. Okay, so not seeing any rocks at the moment.
Transfer me.
Okay, I'm just gonna immediately do this. Okay, that was, once again, the benefits of the hitch. Giving us extra area of effect. Okay, so technically life is worth 125 gold. Gold is 100. But there is potential flexibility to be had from gaining more gold here. I guess I'll still take this.
We'll go around.
Oh, and the enemies are taking damage when they first spawn in, which I kind of forgot about. Life.
Now for the next one.
Then, okay, no choices here and nothing else to pick up in this room, so on we go. Uh-oh. Oh, that was taking longer to spawn in than I expected it to, which made me think something out of the ordinary was about to happen. Okay, look out for that explosion. I guess I can just hit you with the basic one. Or rather with the special.
Change of course.
Okay, so max magic ever so slightly, random palm upgrade. If it hits either of these, that's a pretty big deal. It can't hit this. I don't know that it can hit this either. So that means, I think the only brick would be Thunder Rush, which, I mean, it does do something, but it's not a huge deal, so this is still a pretty good chance of being quite helpful. That's probably not the one to aim for, because he's just going to likely go down to the... Oh dear. I mean, it's a good thing that he's showing up. It does, however, mean this is going to be a long encounter. Ooh, that was closer than it ought to have been. Oh, and the projectiles, I can definitely see they're moving more slowly this time. Because this floor can be pretty nasty, leading up to the Eris fight when it comes to the projectiles. As I said, I don't really know how many of Eris's attacks qualify as projectiles. I don't really think the Polyphemus ones did. Actually, I guess the Medea attacks may have in some cases. Let's see what we get upgraded, though. It was Perfect Image that can get upgraded? Ooh, okay. I mean, it is extra it's a 50% damage upgrade when it's active, relative to what it was before. But still not exactly my favorite boon. Okay. No reward, so you won't even take anything from us right now. Reward-wise, or gift-wise.
Where have you been, Millie? Not seen you here or anywhere in far too many nights. Something's off. I don't know what, but I think Kronos might be up to something new. His forces have been acting very strange.
Well, hopefully, that is just because we defeated Kronos recently.
His forces have been acting very strange because Kronos abandoned his campaign. Icarus, our war is won. The House of Hades is restored. You'd not believe me if I told you how, but it's true.
That's definitely true.
Kronos has given up. Wait, what? No, but we just fought more of his forces here. You're really serious?
Well, that's the other thing, is that Prometheus appears to still be putting up a fight, as does Typhon, at least when you go into the alternate realities.
When am I not? The Titan of Time is changed. We were able to get through to him finally in the moment when his continued existence was on the line. I'm off to Olympus now, to make certain things are stable over there.
I can't believe it. Well, I mean, of course I can. You got him, finally! You did get him, didn't you? I don't know what to say. Have one of these?
Okay, let's see. Charge moves also deal 50 damage in an area around the foes they hit, but use more magic. Oh, these are all good, but they come with significant downsides. Gain 50 armor. Next time you lose all your armor, deal 4,000 damage to surrounding foes. I remember having taken this before and hoping that we got it to activate on Eris. I don't remember when it did end up activating. We've taken it at least once before, maybe twice. But 3 levels on our special boon is pretty awesome. The priming 35 magic is a bit of an issue, given how we have to use a lot of magic to set up our combo even just once. So if we do go this route, and somewhat similar story here, then we kind of are locking ourselves into needing to go out of our way to picking up more magic, which probably is going to put more stress on us to save gold for that purpose. So, ripple effect in that way. Which one of these... Let's see. Charge move, so it's going to be charged special. So that would deal 50 damage in an area around the foes that it hits. I feel like... And then technically, once we do that, our attack, we lose the charged attack. It just turns into a base attack that is a machine gun. I don't think it qualifies as a charge attack at that point anymore. I think this is probably more meaningful if we are choosing between the two that give us potential mana, magic-related issues. I think we'll try it, though.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, 3 levels is a lot. I mean, plus 3 attack levels would be even better still, I think, because that is, that's where we get most of our damage from. This is a mini-boss. We don't have any choice but to go that route. It's Hera, which is probably good. There is, of course, duo boon potential between Zeus and Hera. Ideally, it happened a little bit later on in the run. Talk about levels to your boons. If it's the one that sacrifices Zeus boons to upgrade our Hera boons, actually, we might need... Would we need one more Hera boon for that to be the case? We might already be eligible for it. But this is already level 5, so that get to be quite strong. So I don't know, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's see which mini-boss this is first. I hope it's not Charybdis. It is Charybdis. We've been having some trouble with him as of late.
Going to let me pass.
It's hard to avoid taking damage against him. Okay, yeah, one of them's down. 2 of them are down. It's Charybdis himself, not the tentacles here, although this is. The slower projectiles is definitely going to help a lot. But, let's save our hex for now. It once again is forcing me to dash in the opposite direction. I don't understand why that happens so regularly. But it's once he starts shooting the projectiles right here. These ones are super nasty, because they heat seek, and then they branch out, and then it's like, how on earth? What on earth am I supposed to do? There is no conceivable way. I straight up don't think it's possible to have avoided that. But you know, maybe it wasn't the best idea to go after ones that I was also kind of targeting with Hex. Oh, yep, not enough magic. Oh, you teleported? Okay, so, like, you have to kite them over to one side and then change to the other side? I just don't understand what you need to manipulate what direction the projectiles end up going in proactively, otherwise you're just not going to be able to avoid them. Like, okay. They trigger over there, which gives us enough time to dodge in this direction to avoid them. But bear in mind, that's with the projectiles having 40% less projectile speed. I think it's 40%? It might even be more than that. Okay, so like I see them coming. Deliberately get them to activate on that side so that hopefully by the time they explode, they're far enough away that they can't hit me. There we go. Okay, not too bad in the grand scheme of things. We have had times when Charybdis has taken away half of our health. Fortunately, not what we run into this time. Not gifting to you now.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, it is one of those boons. Let's see. Give up all boons of Zeus. I think I would prefer it in the other direction, to be honest with you. Because that way... Or we do this, and that means we set ourselves up for even more effective queens or king's ransoms in the future. Because this means we lose our big attack boon, and that is our most important boon right now. It is also our highest rarity boon right now. So I know we just got a bunch of levels on this, and it would mean we're sacrificing 2, so we get this 8 levels up to 13. It's just we're usually... Well, it is our highest range attack. Highest range skill, I should say. It has more range than the attack, so when I'm just poking an enemy once, then it tends to be with the special rather than with the attack. Is it safer? But I just... don't want to get rid of this, especially when it's this rarity, and it's so important to us right now. I think we take this, and we keep our eyes peeled for a future King's Ransom instead. Or... we might just be going without them altogether.
The sacred
We might.
bond.
We'll have to see.
Oh,
What? Excuse me? We've never seen that before. It's a mine! It blew up on us. And we only didn't take damage because Golly blocked it, but it wasted one of our blocks. And it happened just about immediately. I mean, obviously I didn't really know what to expect there, because that has never happened to us before. But that is not something I like to see. Okay, here's our delayed max life. Oh. Speaking of which, we could get levels the old-fashioned way. Which I think is probably still worth doing here. Well, I mean, this is technically worth more than this is gold-wise, but in terms of power, if we can get an upgrade on Zeus. The other thing is that in many ways, the Queen's and King's ransoms are most meaningful when you have not already significantly increased the level of your boons, because it does not factor in what the pre-existing level of the boons are that you're sacrificing, at least. So, you know, if we're sacrificing a level 5 Sworn Flourish, then we're not getting any extra value from that. We're basically just negating the upgrade that we got from... where is it? From Icarus, where we gained levels at the cost of priming magic. So we would still have primed our magic, but we would have lost the benefit. So I just think it didn't make a ton of sense on that occasion. Can I kite people in here? Is this just going to completely whiff, or are we going to use our last block? We're going to use our last block, is the answer to that question. Nope, don't sneak up behind me. Okay. Looking for this to be on the special, I think. Yeah. This is more important than this is, for the most part.
I accept this gift.
Okay, so we did prime a lot of magic, so there is something to be said for getting more, although if we're getting technical here, I think we use magic generally in increments of 50, which means getting 5 doesn't really change anything for us, whereas getting 5 life, I mean, that is still helpful to a certain extent. We also keep our lack of magic here, which I did not really remember being the case.
Out of my sight.
If you guys could just hang out here, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much. Little bit of life. No rocks. Obviously, we did not take Rocky, so we could not increase our chances. Okay, Cersei could be quite helpful here. Let's see what she gives us. If nothing else, it's a room to pick up a little more healing, so we took a little bit of damage.
Evening, little pigs.
Rabbit foot, splintered wood with fire soot. It's been too long.
It has. Okay, not gifting, I don't think.
Where have you been for all these nights, Poppet? So many oddities took place, each stranger than the last. Those ghastly sailing ships out there all seem to lose their course for one. I know or what occurred.
All these people talking about how it's been a long time since we were last going in this direction. I don't know that it was actually that long. It might have only been one run. But obviously some significant things have happened going down recently.
Kronos is defeated, madam, and I mean for good. That's likely why his forces have been notably disorganized, although they're not gone, and neither is he. Has Headmistress not communicated this?
Good heavens, why no! Unless, well, I can be very isolated here. Perchance I missed some message she relayed. Oh, so then you mean to tell me you're victorious?
I was gonna say, Medea caught word, but Cersei didn't. Sorry, Cersei. Apparently you're not in the know.
Well, yes. What now remains is to ensure he'll not rise up against the gods again, ever. He or Typhon.
Oh my, this is... Oh, I must confer with our Lady Hecate at once. But first, please, quickly, make your choice.
Okay, let's see. What do we get here? Our Hex deals plus 30% damage. We've never taken this before. Honestly, I don't remember ever having seen this before. And we have the potential prophecy progression from it. Our Hex does have a lot of damage potential. We still would really like to see another Selene show up. Hopefully, we get the plus 5 points from the Moonbeam cashed. I mean, even without that, it's still a lot of base damage, so 30% is a big, significant factor. That may be one of the reasons why we haven't seen this before, is you need to have a directly damage-dealing Hex. Like, if we have the one that converts enemies into minions, which I feel like we've tended to see a lot of on the surface for whatever reason, then it probably isn't even possible for that to show up here. Well, I mean, that is still damage from the Hex, so I guess it should still be able to show up. Otherwise, gain life, gain damage with our weapon, we get bigger, which I think might increase our hitbox. So it is actually a little bit of a downside there, a hidden downside. I don't know that definitively, but I suspect that is the case. Randomly draw one inactive Arcana. I mean, who knows if it's any good. I think we take this. In part for the prophecy, if nothing else.
Felt that for sure.
Okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything else here.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
against Typhon, the Hex can definitely still be very good. Against Eris, the next boss, a little less certain about that just because she's a lot more mobile. Nope, don't attack me, please. You are armored. It's not cool. Ah, that was so silly. I knew you were armored and everything, but I thought we were going to deal enough damage quickly enough that it wasn't going to be an issue. Okay, so usually I would say Hermes here. Except, given how we have potentially 5 extra points to be gained from taking Selene, and we just upgraded our Selene damage from Cersei, I think we have to go this route. And we have Hex that is immediately ready to go here. That I will use right now. Hey, friends. Bye, friends. Nope, don't do that, please. Okay. So, we want this to say a number that is higher than 5. And it does. Okay, good. So we know that Hestia is technically the person who combines for the duo Hex here. I don't think we've had any sign of her yet. And it was quite good, the Hestia duo. So if we have a chance to make that happen, that would be really nice. Otherwise, we know that we have better damage scaling than we would usually have on the Hex, courtesy of that Cersei upgrade that we just got. Whenever Hex strikes a Guardian, next Hex charges up more quickly. Those in the target area take more damage. What are the big ones? Fires your charge cast in the area immediately after the blast, which is a Hera cast, right? Not a huge fan of this one, and it significantly increases the magic cost, so I'd rather not focus on going down. Actually, how many points is it to get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get all the way here if we'd like. We can even get that, or we can go here. I do like the smaller blasts. Yeah. I think we'll go here, here. You already have it getting charged up? Hold on. No. do not. Okay. I think we'll do that then. AoE is definitely helpful. And I'm gonna go here. Take a quick peek. That's fine. Do this. Okay. Hex should be very strong now. And so this is where you can make the case for the magic. Technically, as I was saying before, we're spending magic in increments of 50, which means even a single magic upgrade, it's what? Increments of 30, right? So that is still not enough to get us to an important threshold, but by that metric, you're going to never, ever pick these up unless you get a double or triple magic. I don't even know if we've ever seen that. But, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for getting more of that. Otherwise, you go palm and you're looking for, once again, hitting one of these, which have already gotten several levels. So we are seeing some diminishing returns, although we have seen what very high-level Zeus and Hera boons can do, and they can be incredible. So, I think I am still going to go with this. Okay, where are the enemigos? Here are the enemigos. I think it's just those two. Technically, we can super... Oh, it's not just those two anymore. I was going to say we can significantly outrange at least that dude.
One left.
Should be able to hit with that, as long as I don't accidentally step in to that. No, please stay there. There we go. Okay, so now looking for attack or special. We don't see the attack, so we'll take the special. But this is also why, at this point, it definitely is making less and less sense for us to use one of those duos, because... Oh, what is this? If we still had the Hex charged up, I'd say this could be very doable, but we're about to go into the Eris fight. I don't think this is the time for us to be taking extra risks. Yeah, max life would be great, although we're actually doing pretty well on that front right now. We did take several max health upgrades. So, yeah, since these are high enough level, I think going the King or Queen's Ransom doesn't make that much sense, because on one of those ends, we're losing those levels. Okay, so we have 500 gold. That's pretty good. Should be able to get basically everything here.
Might protect you, my lord.
Okay, I think we go Palm first, because we like the stuff we have. Technically, most Hermes boons are not upgradable via Palm, so it shouldn't really matter, but... Yep, looking for this, I think. Then, we'll take this.
How long do you think it's going to take to do away with all that Kronos gold? Another age or two? Not that you're slow, mind, or that he minted an awful lot of coins right quick.
Does this activate right now? These are all so good. We have not a ton of boons. It looks like we have more than we actually do, because a lot of these are coming from the Hex. And technically, this is... Oh, that's a hammer upgrade. This is from Icarus, so that doesn't count. That's from Circe, so that doesn't count as a boon, I don't think. So it's not quite as good in the short term as you might think it is, but it can become incredible, don't get me wrong. This... Earlier you get it, the better. Is it too late for this to be a big difference maker? I mean, given how good the alternatives are, this might not make the cut. I would love if we had taken the Echo Stone to get multiple of these. But this, despite being the lowest rarity, might be the best option. Making us faster and block 2 hits per encounter, that is just so good defensively, especially when combined with the Golly. Gives you so much extra tankiness. I think I'm going to take this, especially when you combine it with the slower... 50% slower projectile speed, us being faster and blocking 2 hits. It could be a very big deal. This is tempting, though. I think I'll still do this. Okay, and we can afford this. We'll take it. We may be able to afford something in the mini shop once we get out of this fight, but it'll be kind of close. And that requires that we get through this fight right here, which is, of course, Rival Eris. So this is not straightforward, although technically speaking, we have perhaps had more luck against Rival Eris than base Eris, but that's okay. That's beside the point.
Be safe, Lord Charon.
Just have to focus.
Something stinks.
Oh?
You washed up on the wrong part of the beach, Trouble. You see that giant stinking carcass over there? That's what you're gonna look like after this.
Honestly, I haven't really noticed that that's a giant sinking carcass.
I'm not nearly that size, Eris. Nor am I an aquatic animal. Nor are you going to kill me. I must say, this part of the beach is horrid, and the carcass doesn't help.
What do you even know about beaches or carcasses? I've got my special aspect of the rail here, and all the sights and sounds and smells of the sea. So who needs you?
Okay, so obviously we're going to want to use this. Oh, I did end up using a resistance there, unfortunately. So she has her laser beam. That's her thing. Hi, that was such an easily avoidable attack that I wasted a resistance on. That nearly was as well. I don't know if that just stuns, right? It doesn't deal damage. Excuse me. Ooh, that was not the position you want to be in the first place against her. We've yet to use a Hex. We really should do that. If nothing else, then because it gives us... Please don't do that. Okay. In general, you want to be a lot closer to her.
Miss me?
That might have been poor timing. She's probably going to phase. Well, the resistances have certainly helped.
Looks like the tide's come in.
That doesn't mean that I use them well. But they have helped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have already been doing so much worse in this fight than I have done in the past. A lot of that is because you do want to be close to her, oddly enough. And this is a better time to use this. She's not about to phase, although it would be quite helpful if she were to actually, you know, go in there. Ah, that was bad. Yeah, so some of her attacks, you do want to be standing right next to that one, you want to be standing close to her. Charge, you do not want to be standing next to her. So it does take a little bit, need to be paying a little bit of attention. And that just knocks you away. Oop, don't walk into that. May not have been the best place to put that. Stop just barely dodging it, I hate it. There's another phase.
No.
Nope. Ah, that was a very bad place to be stuck. Almost dodged out of that area, but not quite. Oh, that was so silly of me. I dodged into it. Okay, I'm waiting for her to move. Then I'm doing this.
Stay out of this, Moon.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to use Death Defiance imminently. Nope. Didn't have time for that. Where'd you go? Nope. Where are you going? Took a guess. I kind of guessed correctly.
Nice try.
If not for your phase, that would have been enough to kill you, I think. But don't stand there. That does deal damage. Ooh, that was close. I don't have the... No! There we go! Oh, ever so close. I haven't used Death Defiance, but we just barely avoided it. Oh. I think that's definitely our worst rival Eris fight, but fortunately,
I can use this.
we can now heal off the damage that we took. Whew. That was close. Okay. No rocks, unfortunately.
Good.
So no hidden aspect to unlock when we're done with this run. Now this floor is kind of a weird one where we don't really have anything in particular that we're looking for. We're just trying to get through this as smoothly and swiftly as possible. So it can be a difficult fight if we perform like we just did in that previous one, so we do need to be careful about that. As for what we'd like to do, I mean, we could use the Ghost Onion if we really wanted to give ourselves some immediate healing. Usually, that is not the most relevant thing for us to take, but if we're planning around, assuming we do manage to make it to Super Typhon, we'd like to save either the Luckier Tooth or the Knuckle Bones for that. Technically, that means we could use one of these on this floor, and Knuckle Bones would probably be the better choice, I would think, because we know this is going to give us some value, whereas this only gives us value if we have to use a bunch of Death Defiances. So I think we're either doing this, or where that doesn't really matter. Concave Stone, as I said on the previous floor, could have been useful. We could use it here if we're trying to give ourselves the long-term value. It's probably a little late for the Crystal Figurine. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. Could even do Fig Leaf if we really were concerned about that. I'm not entirely sure. It's not going to be Narcissus unless you just do it for the extra healing value, in which case you do it right now, but I think we're okay on that front. So that gets us to about half health. We can see what we get here. Oh, yeah, that's what I didn't want to see. Close, but not quite able to afford those things unless there happens to be another golden urn somewhere over here, but there is not. That is unfortunate. So, and we already used the gold purse, so we're not getting any more gold from this. So, how much do we care about the healing? And we have yet to use this keepsake as of Dora and maxing out our relationship with Dora. It does also rank up after 7 encounters, which I don't know if we've ever used this one and had it... I don't know if we ever have used up all the healing and then had it rank up mid-floor, in which case there's a chance that it would restore its healing and kind of give us some double-dipping healing value. That could be worth trying. You know what? We'll do it. Okay, so then we're basically buying nothing here, but hopefully that means next time a mini shop shows up, we'll have enough money for that, or we'll save our cash for the full-blown shops. Okay, so that's immediately using up all the value from this. And we have the extra little description from Dora, since we have maxed out the relationship with her. Purpose is what we make of it, and therein lies our hope. However, much remains. Oh, and that's so meaningful coming from her, because hope is the one thing that she didn't release from her jar. Not any golden urns there, I don't think. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Okay. This is tough. You would think the hammer could give us a lot of value. We got a really good hammer upgrade before. And there was at least one other really good one that we saw that would be useful. Chaos. I don't know if we can afford to do that. That's a lot of damage we take from going in there. But more so, the risk of getting a bad Chaos Curse when we already have a small margin for error. Yes, we did get close to reaching full health by taking all that healing, but I think we need to play it safe here. And that means going hammer. Ooh, that was bad. That was a block there. That was not really something we should have needed. Now, this. There we go. Okay. Because this, for all we know, could be just as good as what the Chaos Boon would have been. Let's see. Your Valkyrie, which is the machine gun effect, lasts for 3 more seconds, which, when combined with the other hammer upgrade, is pretty incredible. After charge special projectile fires forward, fires inward as well. Specials are 35% faster. We saw this before. We were saying that could also be helpful, but I think this is even better still. I think it synergizes a lot with what we're using right now. One more gold while we're at it. No Chaos Curse. That's a big thing. And then it's not the worst idea to get more magic, but Demeter, we can't really get freeze, can we? Unless we get a sacrifice boon. And I guess getting a sacrifice on the cast could actually be quite useful. I think I would definitely take that. Anything else from her, though, I don't really know what we would go for, because so often it is all about the freeze effect and then the complementary boons that increase the freeze effectiveness. There are a few other supporting boons that she has, but there is one that, primes magic, but gives us another instance of damage immunity per encounter. Maybe it's that we'd fish for? That was nice. These guys are all armored, which is not fun, and I should have been able to avoid that, but I didn't. And that's on me. Okay, not a big fan of you starting to show up. Oh, I thought that was a tower. There's a mini shop. Why was I not allowed to use my charge special when I press the charge special button? I'm a little bit confused. Okay. There we go. We do want to gift to you. How many do we have left? Okay, we have enough that we can still have a little bit to spare in case we run into someone who we haven't seen very often, or have not even gotten any of the keepsakes from. Haven't gifted the first time in that case.
Lady Demeter, I'm grateful for your strength. This is hardly fitting in exchange, but please accept it.
It seems there are such youth today as still can show my generation due respect. I am pleased my own granddaughter is such an example.
Okay, so that should give us new prophecy fulfilled immediately. Then here...
What artifact you bear? Such cold is emanating from it that I sense its power all the way from here. Whatever is the origin of all that death-like frost, it isn't of this realm.
Oh, not gonna lie, I really didn't know what she was referring to at first. I thought she meant our keepsake. I was like, what keepsake are we using? It's so cold. But no, it's our weapon aspect. Okay. It is not from this world. That is true. Okay, we could get magic restoration from standing still, though. I don't really think that's what we want. Charge attack deals more damage, but uses... Ooh. I think we've seen this before with this aspect. And we were asking ourselves the same question that I'm going to ask now, because I don't remember what the answer is. Does that work? And if so, does it immediately get rid of all of our magic because we're firing a bazillion attacks per second? Or is that all upside, no downside, in which case this is like the best boon we could have possibly dreamed of having? I mean, it is like run destroying if that truly is going to make every single rapid fire attack cost 10 more magic. Because it basically just immediately negates our combo. Let me try it though. Okay, let's see. Do this. It does not deplete all of our magic. I don't know if it gives us the damage boost, if that technically counts or not. But, okay, hold on. We have a mini shop, and then we have Apollo. Oh, almost missed that. Mini shop, and then either Apollo or Life. Let's see what we have here.
What's for delivery?
Hex is good. It definitely still has some big things we could get, even just the minor stuff. Picking those up are pretty meaningful, because even the like flat 100 damage increase that we get from some of those, since we have a percentage-based upgrade from Cersei, those are actually worth a bit more than they would otherwise be. It's only 42. I mean, we have to take that at that price, right? The Centaur Heart at that cost maybe is a little bit of a harder sell. But how many... What, 7 encounters? Yikes. How long before this upgrades? Does it even say here? I don't know that it does, because I am kind of wondering if that's going to come back once it ranks up and allow us to heal once more. Okay, so Life, Apollo. Apollo is another one that we have. Oh, we actually do have one boon from him. It's this, which, yeah, we were saying before, Apollo's kind of an awkward fit. There's not too many great things that we would be looking for from him, so I think we might go for this. And we took the Hermes boon. It was this one that we took instead of the one that makes us get dodge chance based on the number of boons we have, right? Because if we did have the one that gave us dodge chance based on boons, then we would have more reason to just go all in on boons. I think we take this.
And down we go.
Yep, there is still a dude over here. Oh, yep, wasn't the last wave. Okay, I'm kind of waiting for you to come here. No! I couldn't dash. I had dashed immediately out of the way as soon as I pressed that button, and it still wasn't fast enough. That is frustrating. I guess we'll do this. That's a little annoying that none of those little blasts hit you, and that didn't hit you either? Okay, there's another wave still, which does make me start to wonder if we're going to see Athena make an appearance, because this does mean there's a few waves to this area. Oh my gosh. And I'm not going to be able to capitalize on the combo. At least it hit you guys that time. Okay. Not really how I wanted that room to go.
I found something.
Let's get you someplace safe.
This is going to be a fast one. There we
See you
go.
in the crossroads.
Okay. Golden urn. Yeah, that was a lot of damage we took. Mini boss for Hera or Palm. But yes, it's another opportunity to maybe get one of the duo boons, especially since that is higher rarity probability on that one, but I think we're still looking for this because or we just get something else from Hera. Her infusion requires that you have 2 of each category, and it makes everything be at least rare rarity. We only have 1 common rarity boons that doesn't really do anything for us. We also wouldn't even have it active right off the bat. So I legitimately think that, oddly enough, once again, not going for the boon is actually the better option here. Oh, that did not kill you? Excuse me?
Hold still.
That does not happen very often. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen that happen. Fortunately, you do not have any armor, so I'm hoping we can just spam the attack button and stun lock you. Obviously, that's not going to be the last wave. If you guys could hang out here, I would love that. Thank you. Don't really want to have to use the statue on you in case there is another wave of enemies afterward, because I feel like they're going to be much stronger than you. Although these guys did hit us earlier for a fair bit of damage, so yeah, but here we go.
More.
There are still more. Once again, just saw that where it forced me in the opposite direction that I was trying to go. It's happened like 4 times, I think, already on this run. It shouldn't happen at all. I don't know if it's trying to lock on to an enemy or something. Excuse me. Editor Lids here. Sorry, my microphone made an extremely loud sound here and then made continuous loud scratching noises for the rest of the video. Unfortunately, I can't fix that all after the fact. The best I can do is reduce the volume of that weird scratching sound, but in doing so, that also messes with the way that my voice and the rest of the game audio sounds. So that's super frustrating, but I figured that was still better than either going no audio at all for the rest of the video or having to scrap this video altogether. It's really bad in this room, and then it gets a little bit better later on. So I'm just going to tell you what I did for this encounter. I chose not to take the boon that we need for prophecy completion because I figured this is going to be a really hard Typhon fight, and we should just take the boon that helps us the most on this run. So really sorry about those technical issues. I know it's far from perfect, but this is the best I could do. So re-enabling that messed up audio starting now. What do we do about Prometheus? I think I'm going to reroll. And fantastic. But I think we take this. I think that's all. How did you know? Okay. Selene versus mini boss for Zeus. In Zeus, we do have, I think, even better potential than we do for Hera because we have our primary damage dealer is a Zeus boon. We also have 6 air boons, which means we are eligible for the Zeus infusion, which makes us deal a minimum of 50 damage for each hit, which isn't relevant for you, but it is relevant for our cast and for our dash. I don't know that that's reason enough to do that. Oh, now our dash. Technically 2 separate hits might affect both of those things independently, in which case it is doing a huge damage boost for our dash, but it's a mini boss, so it is risky, and we've already lost 50 health. I think I'm going to take this because we also do benefit a lot from Selene, of course, and we know that things are only going to get more challenging as the run goes on, so trying not to take too many unnecessary risks, at least. Trying to be mindful of that. There's no way that was the last wave, though. These guys have been causing some pretty serious trouble for me thus far. I do see that.
Now for the last one.
Please don't block all those. I find that very disrespectful. There we go. Okay. No damage taken. And here, I would like to believe we still have some very useful things we can pick up. So we could get enemies after using the Hex. I still don't get exactly how the timing works on this. Using Hex, foes in the target area take 30% damage. Is it basically in the circle before the Hex lands, during that 4-second period, you deal plus 30% damage against them? I don't know that that's worth doing. I think against Guardians, Guardians are going to be the most important things for us for more or less the rest of the run, so I think this makes a lot of sense to go for it. More damage after we use it, take you, and then base damage, larger area of effect. Start off with a more charge. That is kind of tempting, to be honest with you, because then with 2 of them, that means we're almost immediately charged as soon as we walk into the room. We definitely still, I mean, as I was saying before, this is really plus 1 to 30 damage with the Circe boons go along with it, so it's not bad by any means. Not a huge fan of this one, so not really making a point of heading in that direction. I think and we do still benefit from more Selene. It is good to always bear in mind how much Selene you need. It's been forever since we last saw Dionysus. I think we will go that route. Yes, the shop could be really good, but we know there will still be at least one more guaranteed shop at the end of the floor, and we already got burned a bit at a mini shop where we couldn't afford stuff, so it wasn't the worst thing. We had a little bit of leftover gold. So let's go here. I could not tell you when we last saw Dionysus. And we can give it to him. I think we do want it in here.
Nice. More nectar, always good to have that. Why not that one that never down the river with? Now what do you tips to next?
Not if he has anything to say about it.
To emerging from peril unscathed, or whatever you decide. I know maintaining my morale is paramount, especially with the mountain.
It's not as much the case anymore, but okay. Prophecy foretold, but not immediately completed.
I think you should deal with them out now, as the greatest threats facing your mountain are gone for the most part. Well, granted there aren't much safe about this thing.
There's a lot of satyrs in here.
Have you ever talked that way about us, Cole?
From the father of legends, Kronos the Titan of Time, the former utterly destroyed, the latter pacified. The war is over. Fate is secure.
Alright. Let's see. Attacks randomly deal exactly 555 or 555 damage whenever they hit. Chance for max damage is 5%. Oh no. I assume that percentage goes up the higher the rarity. I was gonna say, that is definitely a damage downgrade. I don't know if that only affects the base damage or if that also affects the blitz. Because if it doesn't affect the blitz, then that's kind of fine. And because our attack speed is so high, we're just going to be rolling that so many times that we'll get that 555 damage with some regularity. Just the low chance of that being the case is quite unfortunate. I might reroll here. We still have 2. I mean, this is good. I don't like that we have to hold it, but the damage is ginormous. The problem is that it's the cast. If it were... So, I remember seeing this before. It is quite good. But just the cast is the least central to our strategy of our various types of skills. So, it's not really the thing I want to focus on upgrading here. I'm going to reroll. I mean, this wouldn't be the worst thing either. I don't love the idea of having mystery life against powerful enemies that we've never fought before.
Let's do it.
Ooh, we have not taken this... Really, we've seen it before. Give up all of our gold after vanquishing the next Guardian. We gain that gold plus 400. I don't know that this is the time for us to be playing those kinds of games. For each encounter, restore some life if you took any damage in that encounter. Oh my goodness, that sounds incredible. This also is not bad, but I think we take bounce back. Okay, I think the reroll is definitely worth it. Don't mind me as I just rake that real quick. Anything else in here? I think so. Alright, so good defensive upgrades for sure. Then more magic, more life. We'll take more life again. Increments of 5 magic just don't really do much for us. Excuse me. Oh, you are eager to see us. Usually, enemies wait a little bit before they start attacking us. Not the case this time. It's the range! You have so much more range than we do, so it doesn't matter if I'm actively attacking. You're still going to hit me before I can hit you. Special might have been fine in that case, because that does have a lot more range. But the attack, lack of range on that is not great, and this is gonna hurt in all likelihood. We have a statue to use here? We do not. I don't know if this angle is safe. Thought it was. It might not be though. You guys do like to stand still. That wasn't the final wave! There are no statues in this room. I find that very hard to believe. Nope, stop doing that. Stop blocking, dude. At least once you get rid of the armor, it is easier. A lot easier to deal with them. Oh, we can still hit. You can't hit us through this, but we can. Oh, wait, I did not realize that. Okay, wait, that's kind of a game changer. Okay. Little bit of max life. Little bit of gold. We have to pass on that. That's not the kind of risk we can afford to be taking here. This is where... Okay, just a normal Hera room, maybe it does make sense to go that route. We still don't have a magic restoration boon. That could go a long way for us. Hera's one is pretty good, but it does potentially prime more magic along the way. I mean, if it's high enough rarity, it could be useful still. I'd love to see this rank up very soon. Might be close to doing it. Oh. Oh, there's this pause as I walked into the room, and I wasn't sure what that was all about. I don't really know what you guys were shooting at there, but... Oh, I missed. Oh, I did not even see you there. It does seem like, oh yeah, this is one of those rooms that just has a bazillion projectiles in it, which is going to make things rather annoying here. Reduced projectile speed definitely helps, though. Statues? No. I don't think so, at least. These Fury enemies, or whatever they technically are, considered the hawk-like ones, Valkyries, maybe? They haven't really been causing us much trouble in the past, but for this run, for whatever reason, they very much have been. The Ghost Onion did just rank up. It does not appear as though it refreshes its ability when it does that, unlike what at least the boon-giving God and Goddess keepsakes used to do in early access. It's been so long since we've ranked one of those up mid-run after having used it already. I don't know, they may have, for all they may have gotten rid of that. So maybe just, regardless of keepsake, that's not even a factor, but here is Hera. And as I said, I don't know that this is what we want here. Give up all of our Zeus spoons. We might have one more than we did before, but we just certainly can't afford to get rid of this at this stage. This, however, Bridal Glow, if that were to hit this, yes, it's only one incremental level on the special, but it's one incremental rarity, but it's 3 levels. This is the Magic Restoration, which, as I said, would be helpful even on common rarity. Of course, I can really do more than that, but it makes it easier for us to sustain the combo, because right now we just don't have any way to sustain the combo once we run out of magic. I think we'll still try this. And it was the most important one. Okay, so that's big. One moment. We interrupt this run for a fishing break.
This is a crystal.
That's so cool. Okay, I think this is now the penultimate room. So that means this is our last chance to get stuff out of shop. I think we do that, and if we could now get a magic restoration boon, that would still be useful. Getting some healing wouldn't be the worst thing either. I'm sure I didn't skip any golden turns, but I think we're fine on that front. This while we're at it. Okay, so now, let's see, 475. We can afford everything. The question that I have is, do we deliberately try to save some money so that we can potentially buy stuff at the mini shop after this? That mini shop is likely to take so long to deliver that it's only going to show up just before Super Typhon. So the timing is not ideal from that, but it could still be something important. So I guess this is the one that's potentially on the chopping block. Let's get this first.
I have something for you.
It's Zeus. That could be quite good.
Expect from you only the best behavior, manners, and performance in the presence of my dear beloved wife. Without whom, I would be the merest shadow of my grave.
I think this is about to be the 3rd time they've offered us one of their duo boons on the same run, and we might be about to turn it down once again.
The truest words you've spoken in quite some time, husband. And I'm more than just your dear beloved wife, aren't I? Seeing as I am the bride of the queen. Not that your authority or mine has been worth much of anything of late.
This one should be in the opposite direction. We give up all Hera boons to upgrade our Zeus boons, and I'm a little more willing to do that. It does mean we're dropping our +6, or level 6 special, which is very unfortunate. We're losing 1, 2, we did also get this. Assume that that means we would retroactively lose 3 levels and 1 rarity tier on you, which you could argue, yeah, I mean, I think between losing this, that's the most important one that we're sacrificing, and getting rid of this, which is giving us almost like a mini duo, I think we're probably just sticking with something simple here. This would be Magic Restoration. I don't know that that's best timing for it, though. I think we're probably just taking the Revenge boon, to be honest with you. If we had more rerolls remaining, I would have probably used one there. That is, yes, the 3rd time we've turned down the duo boon, but I stand by that. I think we skip this, and that means we will have money for mini shop after this encounter, because I think if we were to buy this, we'd have 125, which I'm pretty sure is exactly how much we had at the end of our previous floor, and we had an item at the shop that was 138 that we couldn't afford, so we know staying at 125 is likely insufficient. And yeah, it's speculative, we don't know what we might see in that mini shop, and getting this would help us in this upcoming fight, but I think we'll still go with what we have here. And yes, the combo has gotten stronger, or at least even just the occasional special and attack outside of this combo does still hit quite hard, and this helps. We've gotten much better defensively. Okay. That diameter boom, if this does work, which again I'm not entirely sure, but if it does, then this is actually incredible. Okay, so this is Rival. This is where things could go awry.
The war is over, Titan. Drop the act. You still refer to Kronos as your master. You seem no less charitable towards the gods, despite not doing this for their sake, not just yours.
So this is where we are at the greatest risk of blowing through a whole bunch of Death Defiances, potentially even ending the run. But if we can get through here, then that of course means we're on to the last floor, and all we need to do is at least get to the Super Typhon fight. Ideally, of course, with enough Death Defiances that we can potentially beat him, but that's wishful thinking. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. But the war is over. Why are you guys still fighting us?
The result you seek involves me repeatedly beating you up. All you really do want is a proper thrashing, under the guise of acting like some sort of saint.
Yeah, you know, for the Titan of Foresight, you might expect a little more out of him.
I have extraordinarily high tolerance for pain. For such mockery, less so. Remember, we can both administer a thrashing here.
Okay, and strategy-wise, it does benefit. It is good to single out one of them at a time, because I think, if I remember correctly, last time we confirmed the other one gets more powerful when one goes down, or at least heals, maybe. Both of them do have an extra phase where they get stronger, or at least Prometheus obviously has the whole memory game thing that he does. I remember that, yes, Heracles definitely does get stronger. I just don't remember if that's when he loses health or if that's when you defeat Prometheus. But I think we'll stick with what we've done in the past, which is try to prioritize Prometheus and then save Heracles for last. That bird always gets me in the beginning, and I avoided it the first time, but then it kept on going, and I did not avoid it the second time. Now, if we could get Wombo combo, hit a little 2-for-1 action with the Hex, that'd be great. That only hit Prometheus, though. That up there. Ish. Yup. Trying to bully Prometheus here if possible. Stop running. With our limited magic, it's tough. Because you need to be kind of mindful and protective of it. We did have to use our resistance there. But even just poking him occasionally with the attack, and then letting the Blitz do some of the work for us, that is very helpful in an encounter such as this. The Blitz damage is very big. It's a few hundred. So it's a good way to whittle away at him. Stay here. If you want to just chase me around and get damaged by our dash boom, that also works. Ooh, okay. It's not quite the angle I was looking for, but that still is not too bad, I guess. Ooh, that was unfortunate timing. Okay, just chill. Chill, bro, Baggins. This is close to doing the first memory phase, I think. Oh, that was bad. User resistance there. Let's throw this here. Ooh, that was bad. Did I somehow not get damaged by that? That's crazy. Okay, here it is. Okay. Bottom, middle, top. Bottom, middle, top. Enough. You stay there. Thank you. This corner, I guess. Oh, I was slow to, but yeah. I knew as soon as I did not really press the dodge button at the right speed, that was gonna hit me. Oh, he brought his friends. They are annoying. They do run away, though. Fairly quickly at that. I think they're already gone. Ooh, that's a very bad place. There's not a lot I can do about that. That's very unfortunate, though. Kind of just waiting for that stuff to go away. Oh, that's also very unfortunate. Look at all the resistances that we have, though. Okay. Use the Hex here-ish. Try to keep you in this area. Oh, that just barely hit you. Okay, thank goodness. I think the Hex has been far and away the thing doing the most, or at least it feels like it, in part because I'm not just a little bit better position to put that in marginally. Because we're attacking him directly so infrequently, it's so often just a little poke with the attack. And then the Hex, ooh, that was close. And you have this. Ooh. Timing. Heracles get hit by that? I think they both did. That was close. Oh, okay. It's not paying attention to that, but let's see. Bottom, middle, top, middle. Bottom, middle, top. It was middle again. And if it's not middle at the very end, yes. Moment, then I'll do this. Ooh, thank you for walking back into that. That was very, very convenient. I did appreciate that. No, you have enough range to hit me from there. I did not think that you did. I was just trying to poke you with the attack. Oh, that's not where I wanted that. Expecting it to land a little more quickly. Did you summon ads? You did summon ads. Yeah, it's immediately gone away though. That is fine. That works. Oh, that's not really where I wanted that, unless you walk into it. In which case, thank you very much. Love them being off screen like that. Yeah. I don't want to walk into that either. That's not a horrible place to put that. Ooh, that was close. Poking him with the occasional attack. Don't step into that though. Or that. I did that just in time to still reapplied. Nope. Now it's reapplied with the blitz. It's close to being enough. I don't want to save the Hex for as soon as he goes down in that case. No, I'm trying to hit you. There we go. I don't know that that blitz is going to be enough in and of itself. That one might be enough. Not quite. Oh no, it was. Okay. Heracles, I guess, only gets mad at half health. It's not when... Oh, not the eagle. Please walk into this. Thank you. It's when he gets to half health, not when Prometheus goes down. Ooh, that was bad. I have to remember the side dash is the key against him. but the range is usually very good against him. We don't have great range. That may not have been the best place to put that, especially not if he runs away. There we go. Close-ish to half health. Yeah, so I definitely have much less experience against him. I'm definitely more subject to making mistakes. Blitz might get him to half health. Yeah, now he's bad. This hex could be quite good for even mad Heracles as well. Now that's one where you really have to sidestep rather than dash away. Like the spin, he does it for a long time. We do have enough range on the special to still hit him. Side dash. Still yet to use much of our magic. Okay, here we go. That helped a lot. I was not sure which one you were doing. Okay, I was kind of hoping that you were gonna... Yeah, stop doing that quickly enough for me to still punish you. Put this in the middle-ish, on the assumption that I can kite you here consistently enough, reliably enough. It's a side dash situation. What? That was once again the dash that forced me in the opposite direction. Fortunately, somehow I did not get hit from it, but it just keeps on happening. So this. Nope. Get back here. Okay, good, good, good. He's almost down. He is down. Perfect. Still fights us. Alright, so no Death Defiance is used. Even on the penultimate boss fight, which means, yes, there is the final floor, which is still very dangerous. There are some mini-bosses there that are just about as strong as some of the normal bosses of other floors. But we stand, dare I say, a decent chance of seeing the rival Typhon. Won't say anything about defeating him, because that is a whole nother story when we have no idea what we're going to face here. But I think that means... Ooh, we're thinking about this. Do we want the knuckle bones for the 15% damage and we take 10% less damage? Or we have a Death Defiance worth 110 life. We do have a fair bit of life here. In fact, we take 10% less damage across what is, if we have our starting life and our 3 Death Defiances, the Death Defiances don't bring us back with full life. If they did, then it'd actually be mathematically pretty close in terms of total life. I think the damage against Typhon, when we don't even know what we're going up against, could be kind of helpful. Give us a good head start against him. I think this might be better on this occasion. The more life we have, the more the more it starts to lean toward Knucklebones being better than Luckier 2, is the mathematical answer to that, at least from a pure defensive standpoint. But then damage, so I think we'll try Knucklebones. Do this gets us up to max health here. Yeah, we can't do this before. Just wondering if there's going to be... Oh, we have to talk to you first. Would welcome an offering, except you're not letting me do that. So, I don't agree with that statement.
Now then, my girl, you know what to expect. Leap for the summit, almost I shall ensure you find the proper stream.
Okay, what about now? No. Okay. So, we did deliberately save some monies so that we could buy some stuff here. And delayed healing is actually quite good on this floor. In fact, we can afford all these things. This actually would get delivered in time. This would also get delivered in time that it would show up mid-floor, whereas this, I think, would only show up just before the final fight. It's probably still good enough. I mean, it is coming at a discount. A pretty significant discount in that relative to what it would cost in a normal instant delivery shop. So I think we'll do these. I don't really think we need to expedite any of these deliveries. And then that means if we do see any mini shops along the way now, it would become pretty difficult for us to afford them. And the super shop at the very end, by that point, hopefully we'll have built up enough gold that we can at least get a little bit of stuff from that. So, okay. Onward we go. Give us some golden urns there. Yep, that's 10 gold. Yeah, so if we could just get enough gold that we could potentially do a little bit at a mini shop, might be kind of nice, but okay. So now, of course, this floor is dangerous. So even the basic rooms we need to be mindful of. We do have a lot of defensive stuff working in our favor here. Let's see. This guy first. That, and then attempt to dodge through you, and then do that, and then waste a block, and then do that, and try to block you there with our cast. That was one of our items that must have been from a previous floor. For more selenium, we're going to get another one of those much later on. Okay, so with 3 points, we can make it so it's a larger area. It makes it easier to hit, especially against mobile enemies, but against Typhon, that's probably not a huge deal. Understanding that, I have no idea what this new Typhon fight is going to be like. I think we might just go damage in the rest of the encounter and base damage, because that way we're maximizing our damage. I think is more so what we want to prioritize here. Okay, so we did waste a block. I'm actually not sure which blocks get prioritized. Is it Golly first, then our damage immunities from this? I don't know if it also uses the same language, so I'm not sure. Because the thing is that you can use this twice per room. You can only use this 3 times per floor. So I would rather this be the first priority. These guys are annoying. For whatever reason, their projectiles always seem to hit me. But they have slower projectiles, which does help. Do that, and then was that that might have actually been deflection from the Athena boom that I kind of forgot about. Yeah, I would love if you would just kind of go down now. Thank you.
Straightforward.
Okay. So now, first mini boss. I think we're passing on Selene here because we don't have that much more to gain from Selene, and we know we're getting a guaranteed Selene boost after this encounter regardless, so I think we're going high rarity Demeter, and we're probably looking for the one that gives us another instance of damage immunity per room. It's just one instance, but I mean, we have enough of those already that they do start to add up, and maybe it's something else. I mean, as I was saying before, we don't have any of the basic moves from her, so we wouldn't have any freeze potential. If we were to sacrifice the cast boon for Demeter, I would probably still take that. Magic Restoration from Demeter, you have to be standing still, which I don't love. Let's see which mini-boss we get here, though. Okay, it's this guy. I think our Hex works well against him. I think our attack works well against him. I want you to stay there, which if you're doing this attack, you should. Miss. That was greedy, but that's so bad. I missed! Wanted to see if I could set that up at least once. this. What are you doing? Doing this again. We're supposed to be the other exit. What the heck, man? Now you're... So yeah, we can play this the patient way. I think is very helpful. In general, I wish that I dodged that though, of course. I missed that as well. I just want to hit you with the blitz. I'm missing. There we go. It's the lack of range. With just a little more range on a bunch of occasions, that would be a difference maker. Wait for him to do his thing, then I'm going to do this. So yeah, if we're patient enough to wait for those hex opportunities, we can do this fairly safely, I think. I was pressing the dodge button, and then I messed it up. Of course, as soon as I say play it patiently, it proceeds to immediately not play it patiently. No, no, he hits us twice like that? Unbelievable. Okay, and that was just greed on that occasion. That missed! Oh my goodness. That's horrible. Let's... again, or we should be. Okay, don't step in that. Again. Yeah, if we'd gotten that other hex to hit, one that I whiffed on, that made a pretty big difference. Probably gone by now. At this point. There we go. Blitz gets him. Okay, we did take a lot of damage from that. That's not good. But did we do the delayed healing? And is that gonna come right now? Because if so, that'd be perfect timing. It did. Okay, that is... In fact, we... Oh, because we heal from this. Which meant that the damage, once the encounter was over, was actually not that bad. Okay, I'm gonna take this first.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Let's see. So that is the magic restoration. We need to be standing still for half a second. We got this early on, it could have been great, but now is not really the time. And with this, we actually do have some long-term healing potential, but it would be enough right now, I think, to more or less max out our life by the time we walk into another room or two. So, I don't know if this is going to activate even once. So I think we have to take Tranquil Gain. It's probably not my favorite magic restoration boon, but if we're charging up this, and then doing this, let's see. Doesn't count. Okay, it's almost instantaneous if we do stand still long enough, but I really wish that while we were channeling the attack, that counted as us being stationary. Here should allow us to get most of the stuff that we still want to see. Like, we can probably take this. I don't think we want you. I think that's actually counterproductive. It dramatically increases the cost. So instead, we'll go damage in the area, flat damage, and larger area of effect. So that's the one thing we'll skip. There you go. That's, I think, just about the perfect place for us to stop then. That means we don't really want to see Selene going forward. There's not much to be gained from doing so. Okay, so it's a normal room here. That's gonna be that. Ooh, I almost walked back into it. The area of effect is definitely bigger. wish that you had surface, so you would actually get hit by them. Once again, was the game forcing me to run in the wrong direction. Once again, fortunately, it didn't amount to anything bad happening to us, but that's not guaranteed to be the case. Oh, and we can just stun locking. Okay, that works. Okay, we actually do have enough for this, but I think it does force you to fight an enemy. I think we did see that once before, so tempting though this might be, I don't remember for sure. I think we've only had enough fear to try this once, and I was surprised to see that you still had to fight the enemy, because I thought that, oh, having high fear was reason enough to get an extra reward. So maybe I'm just leaving that on the table. If so, then you know what, so be it. I'll live with it. Don't really want to have to fight extra enemies unnecessarily. Nope, no, I knew that was going to happen and everything, but I thought between this cast slowing him down and our charge attack, getting rid of his armor, that would be enough. You are very fast. That was also a resistance, and you dodged. That was also a resistance. What is happening? It just missed again, but it was once again, I mean, that was maybe the most dramatic time where it forced me to run a long distance in the opposite direction that I was telling it to, and very nearly just fed me straight to that guy for breakfast. Not what I was looking for. Okay, now this would have given us healing, not that we need it, but would have given us healing with the Demeter boon, but we opted not to go that route. That is a pretty rare resource, so that's not you. Let's see. Switch past one, theoretically. There we go.
The crossroads.
Okay. Now, mini boss, and it's a matter of either high rarity Apollo, who is not really someone who we're a huge fan of, or Super Palm. And I might lean Super Palm and just look for one of these. I don't know if there are any other ones that we'd still be okay with. I think it's Magic Restoration. Oh, it's quite literally just 100% every second. Okay, so that was not a coincidence that it looked instantaneous. It basically is instantaneous as long as we wait for that half second. If it were the amount of time we had to remain inactive that got upgraded, that'd be very nice, and that would be worth upgrading, but we don't really need to replenish more than 100% magic per second. I think it is still going to be this, though.
Pyre.
Which boss is it? It is probably not the one we wanted to see. Because this one, I tend to find myself taking a lot of damage on. So much stuff going on in the encounter. But it is very hard to play it safely. Want to blitz the egg? What is it? Just keeps on walking on to other stuff. Should do it. Or not. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. And that's not even where I wanted to aim that. I'm really frustrated. I've missed everything because I wanted to aim it at the eye, and then I mean, that was user error, yes, but it's because I was very frustrated with what felt like a very reasonable thing that should have happened and yet did not, as once again the game forced me to run in the opposite direction and nearly led to me taking extra damage. Please lock on to that. Oh my gosh. Now you see why, even with the slowed projectiles, this was very much not the encounter that I wanted us to see here. See, I have low enough health that he's not going to summon any more eyeballs. That might be the case. Does he actually respawn the eggs, or once they're gone, are they gone forever? I do not know. If that is the case, then that's actually nice for a long-term fight. Eventually, that does make it easier. I'm surprised we're not doing this. Fine. All I wanted was an opportunity to do that against the eyeball that you spawn out. Fortunately, oh my goodness, that healing from Dionysus is unbelievably powerful. Look at how much damage we took in that fight and then how much life we have now.
Nicely done.
And that could be a run saver. Okay, now these, we've one reroll left if we really want to use it. It's the cast, which is not very important. It's the dash, which is not very important. It's the revenge boon, which benefits very little from upgrades. We use a reroll here, that means we obviously can't reroll in the super shop at the end. How much money do we have? We don't have that much. So honestly, I think we reroll now. Because this is definitely the best for us. I mean, this might be unbelievably good, but I can't really tell. So I'm going to play it safe. That's also a golden urn. Gives us a little more monies to work with. That's not golden. Alright, so that means this is the super shop. As I was saying, not a ton of money to use here, and more life than significantly more life than we would have had if not for that Dionysus boon, although we could potentially still benefit from some healing here.
See anything you like?
Okay, there's the max life we got from the mini shop a little while back, so that helps. And it does mean that we are for certain going to at least witness, behold, rival Typhon. As for whether we can defeat him, that's a whole other story.
Too bad public house is shut down for now. Private security or something like that. You don't mind, do you? Don't need to dally over there, if you ask me.
No, between us, I don't really mind at all. I can still keep up with the king and queen and all the rest by boon, and this means I can get back a little sooner on a good night.
We definitely saw a lot of them on this run via boon.
See, that's exactly how I look at it. The sooner you get past that massive monster like you left me behind that keep get back there, the sooner you can rest up for the next one.
Then let's go.
Alright. Lots of golden urns here. That's helpful. Let's see if there's any more there. There are not. Okay, so what are we looking at? I think obviously we can't afford the Apollo, so I think this is pretty straightforward. It's just everything that we can afford. So we'll go Zeus, and I think Zeus Infusion wouldn't be bad. We are eligible for it. Obviously we can't reroll, but let's just see what he has for us then. We do get it. That is an option. Otherwise, damage from charge moves immediately activate blitz effects. Oh, wait. Our charged attack gives us a... But does it count as a charged attack? We still don't really know for sure. If it does, then that is unbelievably strong, because it's a way to machine gun into rapid fire 355 damage, which is almost... Okay, it's not the 555 number that Dionysus was potentially going to give us, but it's not that far away from that number. I think we'll probably take that, and that's primarily going to help with dash here, and then technically we have a secondary dash from Athena somewhere as well. Yeah. Might work independently. Cast would also benefit from it, but those are not really our big sources of damage, so it's helpful. It's not unbelievably helpful whenever we use magic. A random surrounding foe is struck by lightning for 40 damage. I mean, the thing is, well, I mean, we can restore magic now with our magic restoration boon, so this does have a little bit of long-term potential. I think we're still probably going with that, though. Okay, so then we will take the healing, and we will take the armor. So we will be on max life going in, and the thing is, I have no idea what rival Typhon is going to look like. If we're trying to make any assumptions based on what we've seen of the other rival boss fights, generally it means stuff that would normally only be there for brief moments or while they're phased. That's going to be there more or less indefinitely, or at least for longer. It also sometimes means, at least in Hades 1, it has at times meant there are more phases to at least the final boss fights. So that could mean that the fight is longer. Projectiles may very well be more... Well, if there are more enemies, then I would think the things like the Typhon tail, Typhon hand. We're going to see a lot more of that. That might be more or less a constant, which would be a pain, because those do a lot of damage in large areas. But the reduced projectile speed, that could prove to be quite helpful, and that was one of the reasons why I took it early on, because I figured it could be a nice safety net here, and we do have many ways to block damage, but that's only good at the beginning of the encounter, so here goes nothing. Oh, we also have the knuckle bones, which should help as well. What are we getting ourselves into here? Would be our highest fear run thus far.
Expecting someone else.
Oh?
Pardon the interruption, granddaughter, but I have come to see the work of my monstrous associate upon these hallowed heights. I have only heard the tales.
We did just get the achievement for doing the prophecy that you get from beholding rival Typhon. I didn't really expect Kronos to make an appearance here, and given how that says Titan of Time, not Father Time, that means this is the adversarial Kronos. Now, is he just going to buff Typhon in some way, or is he going to be the other one teaming up with Typhon? In which case, that's probably a little more mechanically complex than I was expecting this to be. And if so, then is it going to be kind of like the Prometheus fight, where there are just two bosses with two separate life bars that kind of function completely independently from one another? Oh, man. What is Kronos like? Because Kronos has so many things that dictate where you are and are not able to go in the arena. Like, does he still have the clock phase? Stuff like that? Or is it more or less just a phase 1 equivalent to Kronos fight? In which case, that's not as bad. It's definitely not as bad.
I know the real reason that you're here on such a night. Well, I've grown accustomed to dealing with you and Typhon both. Perhaps not all at once.
Okay, that certainly implies that we're about to fight both at once.
Oh, fear not, for I am but a harmless apparition presently. Harmless in as much as you cannot harm me at all. Although the other way around, well, you shall see.
Oh. Okay, well that suggests more that he's going to buff Typhon, or at least do damage alongside Typhon, but there's only going to be one damageable boss, and that is Typhon. So, I don't know. Here goes nothing.
Come forth, Typhon.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, old pal. Okay, yep, I see that. I do see Kronos doing his thing. I don't like it. Oh, hold on. Dodge 1. Okay, you don't immediately go into the dodge 2 phase, which is nice. That counted as a resistance. I don't think the little ones... Ooh, this is a one-shot kill move. That is devious that he can still do that. And that... Oh, dear. This is an ads phase. I did not get that in time. No. This is... Oh, and that's a mini-boss. Okay, so we have... that's not targetable. He's definitely immune at the moment. We did see rival Kronos do stuff like this in his rival fight. Summon way stronger ads. I thought I could dash through that, which probably is the right way to approach it, but...
Zeus should be here soon.
Come on, Zeus. Use all the help I can get right now. This is just absolute pandemonium. What the heck is that? Now I'm just trying to get rid of these mini-bosses. We don't have enough magic! I'm trying to get it back by standing still, but that's not exactly the safest thing for me to be doing. You can deflect the projectiles, sort of, but not necessarily consistently enough. That had a different area of effect. It wasn't originating from the same spot, so even though I was in a safe place for the first one, I was not in a safe place for the second one. Yes, I see that. Not close enough for this. I dashed into that, and that's gonna hurt. The wind effect as well. That was lucky that avoided you. That's your big shotgun projectile. It's mostly the Hex that's doing the work here. Is this Zeus? It's what? Very much not Zeus. I was, in fact, expecting someone else here. You're not wrong. there's a Death Defiance. No, walked into that. I do have this active. Whoa, man. He's doing that. Okay, hold on. Dodge one. Does he do two? No, he doesn't. Move. No! I was not paying attention to Kronos there. Here. Is that? No! I mistimed it!
Hold on forever.
Oh, no, I can't. You're right. Dodge. Oh, okay. Oh, he does do this. Oh, I see that. Okay. I see that. Get rid of the ads in time. I don't know if I did. Let's do that. Kronos is doing something. Yep. Dodge one. I think he's gonna do the second. Yep, dodge two. Oh! No! Oh my goodness! We've no Death Defiances left! Yeah, I believe it. Oh my gosh! But you're an apparition that does a lot of damage. Okay, that was not good timing, or not good positioning rather, for this Hex. That's not where I wanted to do that. Dodge one. Dodge two. Nope, go away, Kronos. Oh, that Hex was not where I wanted. At least the main projectile did still hit. I don't have the mana. No! No! It was his tail. It was his tail at the edge there. That's not really where you want to be for that attack. Well, there you go. That's rival Typhon. The Hex almost carried us.
My greatest foes at once.
Now we know what it's all about, most importantly. So we could prepare with that in mind. And, I mean, the magic restoration definitely helped, because basically it just turned into using the charge special whenever I had enough time, and that was a means not so much to deal damage, and not so much to set up the Valkyrie rapid-fire attack, as much as just get the Hex back as quickly as possible and just rely on that almost exclusively for damage.
The father of all monsters and the Titan of Time together. How can we possibly withstand them both?
So, if we had defeated him, then it would have been our highest fear run, I think, either surface or underworld, and it would have been high enough for us to get the next Champion of the Night threshold, at least for the surface version. But just getting there alone was good enough to complete a big prophecy. So that was still a big deal. We did in many ways still achieve our goal. It just wasn't the loftiest of goals.
You won't forget them, ever. And with this, perhaps Dora won't forget them either.
Alright, and as I said, by no means did I expect to beat him our first time.
The renewal project's off to a fine start. How are you managing with all the new responsibility?
Okay, I guess. Sometimes I think I'd rather not be doing anything. But I get that somebody's got to do this stuff, and it's not like any of those slackers out there are going to do it.
The other shades have their own duties. The work needn't be onerous. It can be fulfilling. Helping others, having a sense of purpose.
My purpose, Mel, is only to hang out.
Alright. Very well. And this is that. Well, that's the big one right here. Unrivaled prowess. So defeat all of the bosses, the rival bosses on floors 1, 2, and 3, surface and underworld. And then for the final bosses in either direction, you just need to get there to that fight. And it gives you 8 nightmare.
Your strongest foes each have a dark side you now know.
Which is why that's big enough to call that one a success, even if we didn't make it all the way through. And then we got Hera, her prophecy, for getting all of her stuff, and then similar story for Demeter.
Your grandmother is a powerful ally.
What's this? Literally, seek us? It's the Fates. Yeah, wait, what? Our connection grows in strength. Continue down this path. Seek to know our emissary, and whomever else may have knowledge of our ways and whereabouts. We don't know who the emissary is, and the fact that it says we have not found them seems to suggest that it is not anyone that we know of yet. Otherwise, I would have anyone guessed it'd be Moros, since he is closely tied to the Fates. He's the brother of them. So we already have seen they who created the world, so that's chaos. Seek to know he who labors for the gods? Not entirely sure who that is referring to. The emissary, he who cast us out. I mean, is that Kronos? She who trained you, Hecate. He who rebels against the gods. Heracles? And maybe, in some cases, these are people we know. We just need to have more conversations with them about the Fates. And what is this? Master of Revelry? Oh, Dionysus. Yeah. We saw the one boon that we've not yet taken from him, which we had the chance to take. We opted not to, because I think it definitely did pay off. But it would have finished that prophecy. That'll have to be a future occasion that we do that. And then Medea, I think we might have seen one of these, but we opted not to take it, but it's good to know that we need 2 more in total. Okay, well there we go. So, I know that was our first unsuccessful run in a long time, but it was our most difficult run ever, and we still did basically the big thing that I was trying to get us to do, so that's why, obviously it is a roguelike, so that's built into the game, that sometimes you don't make it all the way and you end up back at the crossroads, you try to bounce back better, and hopefully with all that nightmare. And the information that we now have about that fight, we can. Okay. I think our relatively limited nectar means we're going to be a little more cautious about gifting that out right now.
Are your attempts to scale the mountain of the gods less difficult, at least, now than before? The war with Kronos having ended surely must bring some relief.
Could this be our conversation with the emissary?
Well, on that front, not too much has changed as yet. Apparently, it's important for the stalemate between the Titans' legions and Olympus to persist, for sake of our cleanup efforts.
So then your fight continues as before, except without a burning vengeance for your family to compel you. What is the motivating factor now?
That's a great question.
Oh, where to start? I have some matters that I wish to see resolved, and just to see what happens, I suppose.
I mean, that is kind of true. Freeing the Fates, or finding the Fates, really. Awakening Hypnos, and maybe a few other things with various people we've come across on our travels. Arachne, Odysseus, we think has some kind of thing for us to resolve for him, though we don't really know what that is yet. So, ideally, we'd like to see some of those things through, maybe getting the next Champion of the Night tier, although that's kind of secondary, so there are still things to do.
I, too, increasingly have the desire to see that.
Out of curiosity.
Interesting.
Okay, no. Just seeing if that happened to move the needle for freeing the Fates. Don't tell me you're the emissary. There's no way. There's no way.
Don't hate me, babe, okay? It's not my fault I keep lying to you, manipulating you, shooting you with the rail, making you clean up after me, saying awful things behind your back.
Really now? Is that so?
While I cannot shake the sense that this is a personal feeling of mine, in spite of everything, I don't hate you, Alice. Not entirely. Although, whose fault is all of that, if not your own?
Nobody's fault but mine. No.
My mother's. It's Nyx's fault, that's whose. Because
Whoa.
she literally made me what I am, and what I'll always be. I could have been old age or friendship, but no. And I can't change my nature, no matter how hard I try.
Yeah, I guess we don't really know how that works with gods and goddesses in Greek mythology and other. I mean, is Eris technically a goddess? I don't know, a bit of a technicality there, but I mean, she is a child of Nyx. Does Nyx choose when she has a new child? Yeah, you're gonna be vengeance. You're going to be strife incarnate. You know, Nyx, slow down. Slow down. Maybe we cool it off a bit with the whole horrible things for gods and goddesses to focus on, and instead focus on the positive, right? Maybe the world doesn't need strife incarnate.
And approximately how hard would you say you've tried? I mean, I haven't really yet, but I'm going to this time, I swear. And I encourage you.
Maybe some personal growth for Eris? Nah, who are we kidding? Okay.
You have returned.
We have. I assume this is just because there are more songs we can potentially unlock. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll circle back for some of those on a later occasion, but I don't think that's a huge deal for us. We kind of want to progress our relationship with Charon. Speaking of whom, there is the next shipment. We actually have a lot of Nightmare. Wow, I think that's in large part because of what we just did with that prophecy. And we have a lot of Charon cards as well. But I think we're still going for this. I mean, yes, Moondust would be kind of helpful, because we do have some things that require that as well. But Nightmare is generally, well, I was going to say more difficult. There may be more ways to get Nightmare than there are Moondust, when you factor in the whole defeating bosses with fear component. But it's more valuable, at the very least. So if we have bones, we can always buy a whole bunch of Moondust here, and you can buy it in bigger bundles. I think this is left over from the last run. I think I forgot to sell. This is from this run. And then we have enough to buy a Nightmare. And then we needed, I think it was 20 Moondust and 20 Fate Fabric to maximize the upgrade on Judgment, which was that really significant Arcana card that we were basing our run around last time, that we were hoping to max out and then realize that it was exorbitantly expensive. So maybe, I guess we'll save the bones for now, but that might be a future reason to invest a lot. Maybe we'll just buy a quick nectar here since we're running a little bit low and that's not that expensive. Oh, to you too.
So you're still fighting Kronos, and you're still fighting Typhon. Though not just a matter of where, but a matter of when. Something like that.
That's actually remarkably accurate.
Something like that. Our Kronos, who had, let's say, a spiritual awakening of sorts.
That's one way to put it.
That time flows freely forth, to use his expression.
Stop using that phrase.
He wished to prevent even the possibility of what happened before.
Is that going to be like the key words, the open sesame, if you will, that allows us to free the fates? I bet. One of them is actually called flows, one of them is freely, and the other is forth.
I don't get it. What happened before happened already. Time is a simple concept, keeps everything moving forward for everybody at the same exact rate.
Well, you see, technically, that's not exactly the case.
There may be more to it than that, apparently.
Everything's gotten so complicated.
That's fair. That is very fair. Oh, it's Nyx! It's Nyx and Hecate. I mean, it's a little hard to see Nyx because her back is turned to us, but let's see what's going on here.
Hecate, you have done all I could have asked and more. My wayward children here were safe within your care, and by the wisdom of your counsel, I am free.
I could also see Nyx being the emissary of the Fates. Nyx is the mother of the Fates.
You have always been generous, O Nyx. Above all, I am grateful you returned to us. What of your children? Are they heading back with you?
They are grown, and I have much to do. If it is their wish to remain within these crossroads, then I ask that you comply. I trust they have not been a burden.
You know about that.
Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, don't worry about it, Nyx. No problem. You owe me so much.
And good. I cannot say when next I shall return. Farewell.
Farewell, Onyx.
Okay. That means we can't interact with Hecate at all. And we can see... Oh, did we opt not to craft anything last time because we were running low on stuff, or something like that? I don't know. I think we do still need a few more beast-loved morsels to max out all of the familiars, and it is something we would like to do. And this obviously is another potential source of the moon dust, which I guess, okay, maybe there are just as many sources of moon dust as there are nightmare, but let's do this.
Become what I seek. Bubble away.
We're running a little bit low on the shadows there, which we have typically gotten from the Chaos Trials, which been a while since we've last done those. I suppose that's another thing that we could circle back to if we feel like we're in a decent place with the main campaign runs. You know, ideally, it'd be nice if we could free the Fates, awaken Hypnos, maybe some of the other things as well, and then shift over to the Chaos Trials, but that's all, you know, subject to change. Lots of conversations that we're just eavesdropping on here.
As far as I can tell, the number of warships headed for Olympus has remained roughly the same night after night. The mission doesn't seem to be affected in the slightest.
See, that's kind of concerning.
Their aim is to cut off the waterways and spread the limited attention of Olympus thin. Continue to disrupt them as you can, my lad. Though if the harpies flock too thick, fall back.
And has Odysseus been the one directing Icarus from the onset? Did we know that?
You got it, sir. Those ships are ill-equipped against attackers from the sky, and the harpies haven't caught up with me yet. All right, I'm off.
Good hunting out there.
Because that's pretty cool. I mean, he is the master tactician. Yeah, that's some good stuff there. Still have some good stuff. Like,
Into the earth you go.
okay. Don't remember those birds being there. Okay. Don't know if we're gonna get any updates here. No exclamation point above your head, so I doubt it. I think that means that's about it around here. And obviously, as I said, we did the big thing that I was looking for. Let's see.
A little orientation. Any questions? Shoot.
If you have anything to say to us. Once again, low on nectar after having just used one once again, so I think we will pass on that.
You know, I've always wondered about all those commendations that you wear. Which was the first you earned? Which means the most?
Is he gonna have an answer?
Oh, you mean these little numbers here? One of these I've had since the Siege of Ilium. Speared many a guy for that one. The others are from campaigns across the land.
Ilium? We in Mass Effect now?
Which sorts of campaigns?
Crack a land, I said.
Alright, Skelly. Stop asking questions! Oh, for a second I thought we could gift to this random shade. I was like, you know, we have one nectar left. I don't care. We're doing it.
Welcome to your new abode.
Okay, well, as I was starting to say there, we got the prophecy, and I think that there may have been an achievement that goes alongside it. We got that done. That was the main thing we were trying to do, and we were not sure if we were going to be able to make it. So that, in and of itself, was a big deal. And then we came what felt like pretty close to defeating the rival Typhon. I mean, obviously, there's no way of knowing for sure because we don't see a health bar. But the Hex seemingly was doing some decent work there. And now, at least for future runs, we know what to expect going into that fight. So we may be able to tailor our runs a little more effectively to that encounter and also just execute better in the encounter itself. So even though we didn't make it all the way to the end, task failed successfully. And that means this is the right time for us to wrap things up. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.